Havana, the Caribbean Babylon, didn't get its name by chance. Altogether, 2 million Spanish, Indian, African, Chinese, mulatto, and other peoples live here together in peace. The Metro bus, a long bus pulled by a semi-trailer, holds 200 people at a time, transporting them throughout the city, which spans 45 kilometers. It's the biggest settlement in Central America. Fortunately, the tourist sites are limited to a smaller territory than this in the Viejo Havana, Centro Havana, and Vedado city regions. Sought by everyone, relics of the colonial past can be found in the old town Viega. Outside the former city wall, in the middle of a monumental park, the building of the Capitolio can be found. This huge palace with a white dome is the symbol of the American influence. It was built in 1929, taking the Capitol in Washington as a model. Due to its designer's healthy Cuban self-confidence, it was built to be 1 meter higher than the original. It served as the Parliament of the Cuban Republic for 3 decades. In one of its wings, the House of Representatives, in the other wing, the Senate was in session. After the victory of the Revolution, a new function was given it, and today it is the seat of the Cuban Scientific Academy. Because there is a lot of room left in it, the Museum of Natural Science and the planetarium were also set up here. The 208-meter-wide facade looks onto Martí Esplanade, which is always busy and broadens to become a square. Next to the Capitol, an impressively beautiful building can be seen. This neoclassical palace, ornamented with statues, columns, and small towers, is the National Theater, which was named after the anti-fascist poet Federico Garcia Lorca. As a result of his beliefs, General Franco had him executed. Exploring the real beauties of a city can be done best on foot, but sightseeing can also be continued by hailing a cab. In the street opening opposite, we can find El Floridita, which is a bar and a restaurant in one and is one of the most popular in Havana. In the corner of the bar, Hemingway leans against the counter, as he used to do when yearning for a swig of daiquiri. This cocktail was first given to workers as a refreshment in the mine the bar was named after. It is made in many ways, but its base is Cuban white rum, lemon juice, and lots of ice. Sugar syrup, triple sec, or maraschino can also be added, but it can be made with banana or orange as well. And it's best to drink it right here on the spot. The determining elements of the panorama of Havana are the American old-timers. In the 1950s, Americans not only bought real estate here, but they also brought their cars, which were the most modern at that time. After the Revolution, Fidel nationalized the cars too. They belong to the national heritage. They're not for sale, even if the collector had paid huge amounts for a chromed Oldsmobile or a pink Cadillac, a winged Chevrolet, or a Studebaker. In Cuba, there are no places where they disassemble old cars. The wrecks can still be driven. As spare parts are not available for these models at all, it's a challenge to maintain them. Perhaps there's little money, but there's always an idea. Cigars are a source of public enjoyment in Cuba. The natives of the island, Taino-American Indians, also smoked rolled-up tobacco leaves. The climate is very suitable for growing tobacco here. Tobacco of the best quality grows near Pinar del Rio. The buds and flowers of tobacco are cut so that the leaves can get more nutrition and grow bigger. Its harvest is done only by hand and with great know-how, exactly 80 days after planting. The body of the cigar is made from the upper leaves of the plant. The covering leaves are taken from the middle part of the plant, and the low part is suitable only to hold the cigar together. In barns built only for this purpose, the leaves are aired for 2 months. The leaves that have turned from green to brown are collected in 20-bunch bundles, and they're fermented twice. After ripening, wetting and selecting, they're rolled. Handwork and long courses of work are the reasons for the high price of cigars. Cigar production used to be a royal monopoly. Today, it is a state monopoly. In the 19th century, there were nearly 10,000 plantations and over 1,000 cigar factories around the capital. In the 20th century, only 120 factories were in operation, and now 6 factories make hand-rolled cigars of the best quality. In the Capitol behind Capitolio Partagas is the best-known building, where there is also a museum. And we can find an uncountable number of cigar shops all over Cuba. Let's remember, when we buy cigars, they should be stored in a humidor equipped with a hydrometer, otherwise they dry out and spoil. We should keep the receipts of the cigars bought because we can expect the customs officer's inquiry upon departure from the country.